Okay, it's a pleasure to be here with you today. It's also a pleasure to see a lot of people working in the field which is close to our hearts, because I'm from the Netherlands Space Office, and we are a agency which works on space data and innovations and such. And I'm going to take you away for 20 minutes on what we do. So, like I said, I'm Marc Middendorp. I work at the Netherlands Space Office. I work on the innovation of satellite applications. And more specifically, I'm not a person who's deep into the data. You won't get much very AI kind of things from me today. I'm going to tell you a lot about what is going on when we want to apply EO solutions in different at governments, especially. My focus is on governments a lot. So I imagine that you are very much into the coding and this kind of thing. So I'm not going to tell a lot about that, but I'm going to tell more about what is behind the old work for the years after, and what is going to be done with it, and how will it evolve into the Netherlands society. So at first, I'm going to say something about the NSO. Who are we? And then we're going to dive into more things which are very much playing for us and what we operate into. So the Netherlands Space Office, that's where we work, and it is a governmental organization. So we work for the government, and we reside under the Ministry of Economic Affairs. We give advice on the implementation of Netherlands Space Office space policy. And our goal is to maximize the value of space for society, science, and economy. And we have a role here to play because we feel that we invest a lot in space infrastructure as the Netherlands, but there's more value to be gained from this. So that's our role. I'm sure you know this, but I'm just saying there are different types of satellites with different types of functionality. You have the navigation, you have the Earth observation, and communication. We are involved in all these fields. I took the European programs here. You have the Galileo, the Copernicus, and the IRIS². So this is all within our field of operations. But I think it would be fair to say 90% of our time would go into Earth observation. All the other are more or less running by itself. But in Earth observation, there's a lot of work to be done. Being a part of the government, we found that we were the last years being a bit ad hoc working, and we decided to come up with a strategy, a agenda, a long-term space agenda, which goes for the coming 5 to 10 years, that we think where we want to focus ourselves on. So you can see the items which we have here. Safety is an important one, climate, science, social challenges, which I will be saying something more about after this, economic growth, and sustainable use of space. So if you see examples of the 6 missions which I just mentioned from the long-term space agenda, is, for instance, LaserSatcom, which is busy making a signal not as normal, more but laser. For the second one, for the climate, we are looking into a next mission next to of course, you might have heard of Tropomi, but now we're going to do an extra step, and we're going to work on the Tango mission, which is much more specifically monitoring places in Europe. There is also the third one. Now my slides come too short. Wait. Oh, I'll get back to that later. Wait. The fourth one is on where I work on with the governments, where we do a lot of workshops, and my special field of interest, where we try to find out how to get the data more into the governmental processes. The fifth one is more on the talent. We want to have a talent program where people get more involved. Your question earlier on are the children and the youth enough involved in this kind of thing? We try to go in all kinds of levels of education to get more involved in the youth, and to get them involved in Earth observation and space data. And as the last, it's the Artemis, which is more about space safety and making regulations on how to work together in the space area with different countries. So now I might make the step to the application side. I don't know if you are all aware where you can use satellite data for. This is briefly shown how, with fields you can imagine that this is to be used. You can use it in water management when you look at rainfall, or and how to flooding and that kind of thing. And you can use it in the energy sector, where you want to know where you put your solar panels or your wind farms. In science, where you can, was one of the programs which are currently running, is on to how to monitor greenhouse gases on Venus, for example. So that's a topic where you can use it for. Communication and navigation, I think it goes without saying that these Galileo and IRIS² programs are very useful for this. Emergency and security. There's services who can help picture what is happening, and also the communication and navigation is important for this. As a whole, in the economic growth, that is very relevant, so that people like you can be an engine for more innovation and the economic growth for the Netherlands. Air quality, Tropomi was mentioned earlier, so that's important. Deformation, I think a lot of you might have seen in the north of the Netherlands, there is a lot of things going on with earthquake areas, but you can measure your deformation with satellites, with the radar satellites. And of course, it's an important one is agriculture, where precision farming is using satellite data, not only for looking how crops grow, but also for positioning the tractors and everything on the field. So that's very relevant areas for us. To do this, we have different types of data, and if you look at the Earth observation, you can, this probably is not much news for you, but you have the Copernicus program, and you have the satellite data portal, and also there's a lot of commercial data. Well, when you look at the Copernicus program, there is a whole constellation of satellites which are presently in orbit. But also in this program, there are a lot of services which are operational and I think we feel in the Netherlands that we could do more with this kind of services, which are already pre-programmed at the ESA sites. This data, which probably isn't much of news for you also, but you can find it on the Copernicus data space ecosystem, and all this kind of Sentinel data you can find there. What could be used, I don't know if there are a lot of people from outside of the Netherlands, but in the Netherlands we have this satellite data portal, which we, as a NSO, we decided, well, some 10 years ago, well, 13 years ago, we decided to host this. It was a program which we wanted to do to get some work on. The Sentinels were coming in 2015, I think. So to get this running, so we decided to make a satellite portal to get innovation going already. We decided to keep on doing this, and even today we have data 6 times a year from Pleiades NEO, 6 times a year of 30-centimeter grid data. And also of RADARSat, we have a 5-meter resolution pixel data, which you can find there and you can use when you are residing in the Netherlands. What we also do, there's a lot of text here, but you don't have to all read it, but this is on our site. I put the link there. If you're very interested in doing innovations, and especially for governments, this is very important. We would like to stimulate this by organizing an Innovation Impact Challenge. We do this, we have done this for more than 10 years, and we have, you can see it on this side, this is all the Innovation Impact Challenges which we have hosted throughout those years. And the aim of the Impact Challenge is that the government puts a question into the market, a business question, which they think they can solve with Earth observation data. And then you put this question in the market, and companies can sign into and compete on getting a opdracht, a tender. So this is what we do, and this is how we feel that innovations can get really into the government's systems. Okay. More specifically, we're working on our agenda. Like I said, Mission 4 is much about how to get governments working on this domain of societal questions. It's all over in government. It's a very important issue. Governments should be helped more by the specific social questions that they have, and they and also the digitization and the digital way of working is very much in this. So we are focusing on this as well, and we have looked on how would we, what we have to do to get this more up and running. So what we did is we made a research on the organizations which are in our vicinity, and we have looked into what kind of obstacles do you find when you are working with Earth observation data. And we came up with these 8 categories which really were mentioned a lot, and we have some extra explanation with this. The first is accessibility, so that's findability, user-friendliness. The second is usability, it's about quality, continuity of data, calibration, validation, and so on. The third is about data processing and data infrastructure, which Specific points are standardization and documentation and all these kinds of things, speeds, storage. Knowledge and innovation is also one of the issues which we have found. So that's what is very interesting there. There is also a gap between the content, the domain people, and the people from the technology. So that they have to be brought together. The fifth one was competencies and skills. So what training and hands-on experience, tutorials, manuals. This is also an important one for us. It's about legislation. Not all legislation is suitable yet for use of Earth observation data. Sometimes there are some rules in the law, in the policy that that prohibits the use of Earth observation, not with an objective reason, but just because they have written it wrong. Financing, well, financing, I think it's always an issue. And as last is management. So what is the vision and strategy of the company, of the management, and also what is the innovation culture of an organization? How innovative are they? And also what we see a lot is there's a lot of pilots and going on, but to make the step from pilot to production seems to be always a very difficult one to make. So if you see these 8 types of obstacles, I was wondering, what kind of obstacle, what of these 8 is the most prominent one of which we have to deal with? I don't know if anyone has an idea. So
You mean what should be highest priority?
We have one is category which is most heavily mentioned by the group of our organizations which we spoke with. And I was wondering, do you have an idea what is the most?
We can try to guess.
Yeah, go on.
I'll go for competences and skills.
I don't think that's too high. Nope, sorry. Accessibility. That's not the biggie either. I couldn't hear. No more. Well,
You're talking only Netherlands, right? Or
sorry?
You're just talking Netherlands.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, most of participants are from outside of Netherlands here.
My point is to make you aware of how the situation is out there. So I'm not surprised if you don't really have an idea yet, but it's important. I don't make it too hard. Most of the problems are in organizational management. So that is the organizational characteristics, how innovative is an organization. It's very important. Sometimes you have a few people who are the starters of an innovation, but if the organization isn't innovative, it is also a problem to get it on. And the second one, which also is mentioned very much, is the vision and the strategy of an organization. So how is a organization in the top? Are they involved in this kind of innovations? Accessibility was mentioned. I think that's the third one. So that's a good one. And then, well, you can see how the scores goes from there. But my point is, there's a lot in the organizational side of innovations. All the other things are important too, but most of the focus we have to put on I think, is on the management side of things. So I think this is my last slide. So we are working on a user uptake strategy to how to get this kind of thing better organized in the Netherlands for the coming years. So we see what obstacles we find, but not all of them are very as easy to eliminate. Where some things we have been doing, so like put more emphasis on putting EO data in the total digital process of organizations. So as of now, we are working on on how to make digital twins and to promote the use of Earth observation data in this. So that's one of the things which we have to work on, but also like we are here and like we mentioned before, I think we have to put more emphasis on different levels of education. So we are working on that. But like I said, how to reach the important obstacles which we mentioned and to eliminate these, that is our basic question and what we have to focus on. And I want to close with this because we want to innovate, but an innovation is only an innovation when you really do the last step of an implementation. So that is my last slide.